Uh, it's usually very difficult to speak after these moving testimonies. For the past 31 years, I've been living this life of testimonies and hearing stories of survivors. But each year it becomes like a fresh new story. You don't get used to it. It becomes so moving. Let me start by thanking and appreciating Campus House, University of the Purdue University. Thank you so much for honoring us, honoring my nation, Rwanda, and hosting this commemoration event here. We don't take this for granted. And we take you as true friends. You become friends of Rwanda. Thank you so much for giving us this space. To my fellow Rwandans, survivors, I also want to say thank you so much for finding time to come and be part of this commemoration. Thank you, Kaka, for sharing that moving testimony. Thank you, the panelists that were here, Ange, Thomas, Musinga, and the wonderful job done by Yves. Thank you, Emable, for bringing us to this university. I think it's the beginning of better and good future collaboration between the university and the Rwandan community in Indiana. So friends, fellow Rwandans, it's been said. The story of Rwanda is an interesting story. It's a mix of a sad story that you have all seen and heard, but it's also a mix of a good story. Yes, our country came to its knees. Our society was shattered. Our people were broken. Our nation was destroyed. That happened 31 years ago. What you've been hearing here is not a movie. It's not a Hollywood script. It's the truth of what happened in our country. What Kaka was saying is not a movie. It's what he went through. So, such a day, we pay tribute to the survivors. The survivors have endured all sorts of suffering. But again, they have sacrificed everything to forgive and move on and build a new chapter. So to the survivors, our government, my government that I represent here, will always be indebted to you because of this ugly, horrible journey that you traveled, but you've still found space in your heart to forgive. Forgive, but don't forget. And that's important. And we always owe you this appreciation. This morning, yesterday I had a good discussion with the people at Sagamo Institute. This morning as I was coming, I don't know what made me go on YouTube, and I just found a story of a lady, a very beautiful young lady, 31 years old, who was 2 months old at the time of genocide. I'm sure her mother must have been killed, and maybe she was left breastfeeding, and she was picked by the Red Cross. You know the Red Cross, you guys? She was picked by the Red Cross. I'm sure the Red Cross picked her from her mother's breasts. Today she's 31 years old. She does not know any member of her family. She went on social media to say, guys, I know I was picked from this place, but if anyone knows any member of my family, please let me know. They know where she was born. They know where her parents' house was. She was picked by the Red Cross and raised by different family, who was, and the family also doesn't know who the parents of this lady were. And she's leaving. These are the stories that whenever you hear them each year, you feel broken. And these are the stories of the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi. That is the dark chapter of our history. A dark chapter that we'll talk about. Because, like they say, if you forget your history, you're bound to make the mistake. That is why every year we take a moment to reflect in commemoration about this horrible past. But friends, despite this ugly chapter, the dark chapter of our history, we have moved ahead as a nation. We have put this mess behind us and built a country that is founded on very firm values of humanity. And Rwanda is a beacon of hope. Rwanda is a country that is seen today as the best model for post-conflict recovery. I'll tell you a short story about a clip that Pastor Rob's short documentary that he showed. A lady called Maria. And Maria meeting with a perpetrator, someone who killed her entire family. And the story about reconciliation, because this is the house of the Lord. It's very important to talk about reconciliation. Maria that you saw in that clip, the guy is called Philbert, if I remember him so well. Philbert killed the entire family. And only one daughter remained. And Philbert confessed to his sins, confessed to his crime, confessed to the killings. And in that journey, very painful journey, Maria found space in her heart to forgive Philbert. Because Philbert came out openly and, talked about how he killed the family and everybody in the family and where the people were dumped, the bodies were dumped. Maria forgave Philbert. They live on the same hill. They became very good friends. Very good friends. Maria's only daughter who survived, I think she had a family of about 10 people. The only daughter who survived had a wedding. And Philbert, who had killed the entire family, was the master of ceremonies for the wedding. As if that is not enough, when the daughter gave birth to a kid, Philbert became the godparent. That's not a movie. These are the powerful stories of what our nation has gone through. The powerful stories of how we've tried to build a new society. Yes, these horrible incidents happened, but we've tried to put in place the right policies, the right programs to promote the unity and reconciliation of our people. And survivors that we forever be indebted have accepted to move ahead and reconcile with the perpetrators of this genocide. Rwanda is a new country. Rwanda is a country of hope. Like I said, this is our history. But we have created a new nation. A nation that wants friends. A nation that values friends like you. A nation that is on the rise. And a nation that wants to be counted among the global community of nations. Rwanda that we talk about today, like Pastor Dave said, is seen as a bright light on the continent. And why? We've only fixed one thing. We fixed one thing, and that's leadership. We fixed that gap that we had in our past, leadership. The leadership that took over after 1994 under President Paul Kagame has been a very, very, I don't know what English words I can use to describe, but has been a leadership that has brought hope where there was darkness. It is a leadership that has put in place a foundation for which the future of our country will stand. And this history that we're talking about will never happen again. Rwanda today, despite all these challenges, has made modest progress in all spheres, economy. We're one of the countries on the continent that has the highest and consistent GDP growth over the past 10 years, an average of about between 8 to 10% growth, steady growth over the past 10 years. We're a country that is the least corrupt on the continent. We're a country that is one of the best governed. And these are not my words. These are, you do research and see. On the continent, clean leadership. Our people are at peace with each other. We've promoted reconciliation of our people. Our people live on the hills and in the valleys of our beautiful country and are at peace with each other. No more tears, no more killings, no more suffering. And I'm not saying this because I'm a diplomat of Rwanda. These are facts. I'm sure people have been to Rwanda have seen this. We have refused to be a failed state. And as I speak today, we have a vision of where we want to be. By 2035, we want to be a middle-income nation with a GDP per capita in the range of $2,000. And you might think that we're dreaming. No, we're not dreaming. We have seen it happen. From where we are, from where we came from, and where we are today, we have seen it happen, and it's going to happen. We have a clear vision. We want to be an upper-income nation by 2050. And we've put in place the right tools and ingredients and policies and programs to set us on that path. And we are committed, and we are very, very optimistic that we are going to reach this vision. But we cannot reach our desired destination without friends like you. We need friends like you. Friends like you that are going to visit Rwanda and be part of our tourism industry that is one of the most thriving sectors of our economy. Friends like you that are going to be future investors or investors that want to invest in our country. We position in Rwanda as an entry point, as a gateway for the world that wants to invest in Africa. Because we've put in place all the right policies to make sure that we make ease of doing business and investment easy for people. And as you know, Africa is rising. The potential on the continent is huge. And what we do is make sure that we connect you to Africa. We're a small country, small population, 14 million people, but we're in the heart of Africa. When you invest in Rwanda, we help you to connect you to the larger market of the African continent. And so we treasure friends. And so we value friends. And in our journey of reconstruction and rebuilding, we think we can succeed if we have committed friends like you. There's something that I said here, which I want to repeat. And finally, the genocide that happened in Rwanda targeted a group of people. It targeted the Tutsis. And that's why I call it the genocide against Tutsi. Because every genocide is targeting a specific group of people, either for their ethnicity or for where they're located or their faith. The genocide that happened in Rwanda was a genocide that targeted the Tutsi people. And that's why we call it the genocide against the Tutsi. We've made some very good progress in this country. Some good states have made proclamations on this. Last week we had the state of Texas making a formal proclamation and saying, genocide against the Tutsi. I'd love to come back soon. The state of Indiana have made also this proclamation. But I'm sure with friends like you, this is going to happen. As I end, to my Rwandan compatriots, thank you so much for being and staying connected to your country. Your country needs you more than ever. As we embark on this journey of rebuilding your nation, the contribution of the diaspora is critical and very important. Stay connected to our nation. To our friends, you will never be disappointed in connecting and building strong partnerships with Rwanda. Rwanda is a forward-moving nation. Rwanda is a nation that is fought all odds and is on the rise. We want to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much for coming today.